I want to take a look at a modification for the Series 2 Kyber crystal canisters. It's a modification that I think the original designers missed, that they should have done, and thankfully somebody else has engineered a workaround that makes these much more usable as canisters for your Kyber crystals. I love the rotational action of the cap here. It makes it a whole production. Just the whole setup here is great. But there's one thing about this canister arrangement that I'm not a fan of, and it's the one thing that's left over from the old Series 1 Kyber crystals, and it's these little plastic inserts that hold the crystal in place. I'm the type of person who would prefer to keep the crystals in the canister. There are other people who will put them on display, who will take them out of the canister, even throw the canister away or sell empty canisters online. But I want to keep my crystals in my canisters, and then when I want to use the crystal again, I want to be able to quickly pull the crystal out and put it back in. And these things make that a little bit of a hassle. You have to fiddle around with this, and I think that's in now, or maybe it's not. Try to swing that. It's just a hassle. So anything that can improve this particular part of the experience, I greatly welcome. And that is exactly what I have over here. These are 3D printed inserts that go into the canister here, and they're going to hold the crystal in place, and they're going to make inserting it and removing it so much easier. So let's take a look at that. There are two ends here. This one I know goes over where the screw is because there's a little hole underneath to hold the screw. And what's neat is this particular end here is made of a more elastic type of material called TPU. So it's got some give to it, so it'll first squish down. That's going to give you the clearance to insert and remove your crystal. And it's going to make inserting it pretty easy because it'll sort of bend in there and then get into place. You can see we have 3 notches all around. Each notch takes one of these posts, so we just sort of jam this in here, and there we go. That is installed, I believe. Nice. So now all that's left is to put the other end in. Now this is made of PLA, and the seller, who I will talk about in a moment, might offer a TPU option for this as well, but you don't really need it because with this end, the middle hole there is a little bit wider than the others, and that is so you can do something like this, where you come in at an angle and then twist it down, and it fits into place. And now all that's left is to insert your crystal. And there it is. It's held in place. It's not coming out anytime soon, but the next time you want to use your crystal, it pops right out, and then when you're done using it, you can just pop the crystal right back in, just like if you were inserting or removing a crystal from a Savvy's workshop hilt. So this is great. This is exactly what I wanted, and so when I saw these for sale, I bought a bunch of them, and I've been adding them to all of my Kyber crystal canisters. And if you're wondering about the piece of paper here, notice that there's a little gap between these posts and that TPU end there. And if I do it the right way here, see, it's in like that, but then I can just sort of wiggle it down a little bit further. And now it's sort of wedged between the insert and the posts, keeping it well in place there. But again, you're going to remove that piece of paper probably the next time you remove your crystal, so maybe you don't need to go through all of that trouble, but it's just a neat little extra way to tuck in the piece of paper and make sure that it's secure. I should also mention that this is not a paid promotion. This is just me genuinely being excited about this nice little mod for these Series 2 Kyber crystal canisters. I bought these with my own money because I like them so much. I bought a bunch of them so they could go in all of my Kyber crystal canisters. It just makes the whole experience of using these things so much better now. Removing the crystal and putting it back into place is a million times easier now than it was before. So if this is something you're interested in, there will be a link to the EngineeredCoaxium store down below. They're not very expensive. I think for a set of 3, it's $6. And if you buy more sets, the price goes down a little bit further. It's perfect. I would highly recommend you get a pair for every Kyber crystal, every Series 2 Kyber crystal that you own, because it just makes the crystal canister better. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Good luck. Have fun.